welcome back to Big Mood. We're back, everybody. Who is here? I'm Nikki.
I'm Gina. I was totally paying attention.
I'm Bose.
I'm Jess.
And we are talking about times that we doubted ourselves.
Every day.
Every day.
Every minute of every hour.
You know what I'm doubting right now?
What?
I'm doubting myself because I think we were supposed to change outfits for the next episode.
I didn't change either.
Okay, cool.
We're fucking slobs.
Gone.
why pretend it's a different day? Same ass day.
Well,
Meanwhile,
movie magic, you guys are.
yes. Meanwhile, Jess and I, we've changed.
Yeah.
You know what the thing is?
Connect feet with me.
I freaking steamed 4 different outfits. I steamed 4 different outfits to change into them, and then my lazy ass is like, but I don't want to change.
Yeah. This is comfy. Why?
Yeah.
What are we wearing that's so comfy?
We're wearing Big Mood merch that you can get for a very limited time. In fact, I don't even know if it's still available when this episode is out.
I know, by the
Click
time
the
this
link in
comes
the
out.
description to see it.
Because you cannot
there.
buy it after February 14th.
That's
but
true.
Yeah,
But maybe
this
there
is
will
just
be more.
a limited Valentine's Day design that we came up with. We're going to be releasing other merch, but not the
not this
Valentine's Day
one.
one.
It's probably gone by now.
You could still check the link because that is where our merch will go when we do have merch.
It's cute as shit. It's
It
so
is,
damn
right?
cute.
It's cute.
I hope you got this because if not,
I hope you got it.
Too bad, so sad.
Did
Just
you
like
get
the like the Hey Bitch merch that no one got.
I got some.
I got some, but y'all didn't.
I did, and then they got mad at me because when we went to open up our bank account for Big Mood, I rolled out of bed and I just put the Hey Bitch hoodie on, and they were like, "Bose, you cannot wear that."
Yeah.
It's our Big Mood.
Wrong gang.
Let's fucking
You're repping the wrong colors.
You're gonna get us demonetized at the bank.
Oh my god.
So times we doubted ourselves, and yes, people doubt themselves a lot, but is there can you think of a time where you were like, I don't know if I can pull this off, and then you fucking did?
Dude, me, this is so superficial and stupid, but when I was in high school, before I was going to go try out for cheerleading, I hella doubted myself because I was a nerd in middle school, and I was like, I'm going to be cool in high school. We're going to turn this ship around.
I love that rebrand.
So then freshman year in high school, I go to do the cheerleader tryouts. I fucking blew everyone out of the water.
Wow.
Can you do splits? All sucked ass. No, I can't do the splits. I never trained gymnastics or anything, so I can't do the splits. I can't do any of the tumbling or any of that shit. But as far as like the cheer part, like I was so much better than everyone. Like the dancing, choreography, all that shit. I was like, these bitches suck.
I desperately want to see pictures of cheerleader, Jess.
Me too.
Well, we have pictures. I've shown pictures, but
Have we even seen cheerleader? Jess?
I was in. Yeah, I think I showed.
I think I saw one
No.
picture. Yeah.
I was
No.
like in the news.
We didn't
We
see.
were
She
in the
didn't show
newspaper a
us.
lot. I have newspaper clippings of me too. Like,
Wow.
Oh, my
I had the
shit.
opposite experience with cheer because I thought I hella believed in myself. And I was like, I've been taking dance since I was 4.
You should have been good at it.
Yeah, and I'm really good with choreography, but all of the girls, so I went to a different high school than the people from my junior high went to. So I was the only girl from that other junior high. And so all those girls were cheerleaders from the middle school that usually people go to that high school for. And so the coach of the cheerleading squad was the same coach from the middle school. So she knew all the girls except for me and this one other girl. And we were the only 2 that didn't make the team.
Aww.
But they reached out personally, and they're like, yeah, so we thought you were really, really good, and we really want you to try out for sophomore year cheerleading because you'll definitely make it. It's just that we wanted to keep these girls together. And I was like, fuck that. And that's when I stopped believing in school and myself and everything.
Oh my god.
I went punk rock.
Did you have to audition for cheerleading?
Yeah.
Yeah, I auditioned too, and I
we
made
had
it on the
tryout.
team pretty fucking easy.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
But
How many
I didn't even try up. I just showed up and they put me on the
yeah,
team.
the thing is, I don't even remember auditioning, but I
Don't
remember
believe in yourself ever.
I remember.
I
It
do.
was nerve wracking. We had cheerleaders from a college, in the next town over. These kind of professional college cheerleaders were our judges for our high school cheerleading tryouts, and I was so nervous. I feel like I was shaking the whole time. But then as I was watching the other girls, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Right?
So it always gives you confidence.
I always doubt myself, to be honest, but usually I fucking pull shit off. But I don't know why every time I still doubt myself.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, so that reminds me of doing stand-up, like I always, like before a show, I'm like, oh shit, everyone's gonna be so funny, and then I'm gonna go up and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna pull it off. But I got in the habit of actually waiting in the audience to watch the other stand-ups before I go up, because it made me feel so much better, because I was like,
See how bad everyone else is? You're like,
so bad.
I got this.
what was your? What you tried out? Were you on the team?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then like
why do we have the same life? We were both
Did we never
cheerleaders,
talk about
Hooters
this?
girls. We worked at strip clubs.
You guys had a movie made about you.
the
I think it
same
was
life.
called
Separated at birth.
no. What is that? The Toros.
Oh, bring it on.
Bring It On.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god.
Or that movie.
You're the Clovers.
Yeah.
Because I'm black? No, everyone on my
Because they're better.
dude, everyone on my team was they were all white. Of course there were no fucking black cheerleaders, but I don't even remember trying. I just remember I was on the team.
Yo, fuck you guys.
But you know, the funnier thing is that like I only did it for like I don't even know how long I did it. I quit because it wasn't what I thought it was. I think I only auditioned because I wanted like the validation of like I'm a cheerleader.
Do you like get the uniform and wear it in the hallway or some shit?
Yeah,
I just wanted friends.
I wanted to be a cheerleader because I thought that was cool, and then it didn't do anything for me, so I just like quit.
I
And
want to
then
see these pictures.
also they wanted me to be a flyer, which like I was just not
'cause you're
down
tiny.
for. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Why
not.
were you not? Are you scared?
I don't. Oh god,
Oh,
I thought I was gonna sneeze.
Okay.
Are you doubting your sneeze?
I know.
Oh, bless you. Oh, that was a wet one.
Oh god, dude, that was.
I feel like coronavirus just hit.
No, dude, it just hit the set.
Don't say
Using
that.
that mic
All right,
next.
I'm the closest
don't
thing to
jinx
Chinese.
it.
All right, someone's gonna be racist to me right now. I swear to God, I'm gonna cough on all you bitches real hard if you guys start getting some shit on.
I'm trying to think of. I feel like I'm always doubting myself. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but whenever I just don't think about it, I just kind of do it and it works out, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I did that.
Yo, I was reading the statistic. Reading, not writing. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly.
I had no idea what you said.
How did I
Let it fly. You were like, I'm talking about a statistic.
I was having dicks. Now I was reading a statistic.
Wow,
We are off the rails.
That's what we call it now. Jesus. Me and my man last night, he gave me some dick.
I was reading that dick. So I was reading a statistic that men will apply for jobs that they feel at least 60%
Oh
qualified
yeah,
for.
I've read that. The dick.
I've read that a dick.
So those dicks, they be applying for jobs that they're only 60% qualified for, while women feel the need to be 100% qualified before applying for a job. So it's interesting why, like, we doubt ourselves and then we would kill it, because, I mean, it makes sense that, like, most of the employers are looking at, you know, between the guys and the girls, like, the guys are way less qualified, and they're
They'll pay them more. They'll accept them faster because of the
confidence. Yeah,
Dude, I have a great fucking example of this. As of this episode coming out, I'm now unemployed. And
on purpose,
Fun-employed.
You're self-employed.
Yeah, I'm self-employed, but I've never talked about what I did. I've always kept it really low key because I didn't want anyone to like find me and
Yeah, you
kill
don't
me.
need stalkers.
I don't know what you guys are thinking of. I
Stripper.
don't know if you love me or you hate me. You know. So I'm gonna tell you. You guys kind of know what I do, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I did and like how this even. Okay, so I was working at a law firm. I'm so excited to tell this finally.
Yes, the day has come.
The day has come. So I was working at a law firm in like January, February, and this law firm was fucking going under.
Wait, the firm was going under?
It was a
remember that
bar
part.
association, but so I'm sitting at my desk one day and I hear the CFO go into the CEO's office and he's like, "Okay, good news, Mock. We've got enough in the account to make payroll." And I was like,
Oh no!
I was like,
never a good sign.
bitch, what? Like, I heard that and I was very concerned. Like, it was a really beautiful place, like in Beverly Hills, and I felt great, whatever. And like also just things weren't working out there. So I was like, I need to find another job. So I'm so excited to fucking finally say this. So right when it was really bad, I broke out in full body hives and I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here, but I want something fire. I see a job for marketing and comedy, and it was at Live Nation. And
Perfect.
yeah, some of you, I don't know if some of you guys know, but Live Nation owns Ticketmaster. Like, it's
a huge company.
It's huge. It is a multi-billion-dollar company in 90210. And so my job and this job where I was interviewing, they were about maybe like 0.8 miles away. So I go on my lunch break and I fucking run across the street. I had to run through Beverly Hills, like up and down the steps of the Civic Center to get to this audition or to get to this interview. And this is such a big position. I'm talking like
Executive
fucking,
level.
dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Name on the door, unlimited lunch.
You had your own office, right?
Yeah, dude. Like all fucking, dude, it was.
I love you.
I didn't even realize how serious this job was. It was my responsibility to talk to like the top agents from like WME, CAA. I've met like the head of comedy at UTA, like sat down at these big fucking meetings. I mean, it was insane. Like I was in charge of like all of this shit. We did touring for Dave Chappelle, Ali Wong, like some of the biggest people.
Oprah.
Oprah, literally fucking Oprah. Oh, everyone huge. And I'm interviewing for this job. And like, I'm in there, I'm talking to the guy who actually happens to be like, his name is Jeff. He's like a comedy legend. He's Dave Chappelle's best friend, put him on tour, like right after Chappelle's show ended. Like this guy's a fucking legend. And I'm interviewing here and I'm like, I'm not going to get this job. I'm absolutely not going to get this job. But that was my reality of it. And then literally the next fucking day they call me and they're like, can you come in for another interview? And I'm like, yeah. Now I'm in this other giant boardroom with these two like women that are very intimidating and they know this shit like the back of their hand. They were like, so who are your favorite comedians? And I'm like, I don't know. Like they asked me all these really intense questions, but the crazy shit was I knew the answer to everything. Like I had all the answers. And so like I just completely doubted myself. But then when I'm in there, it just is firing off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, great. They called me the next day and I got the fucking job.
Yeah.
But little did I know that in my doubt of it and seeing this whole big picture and seeing myself so small, this comedy division had actually all spoken word and YouTubers tour come through them. So there were people like Cody Ko and Smosh that were supposed to be touring and they come through this division and they don't know how to market these acts. So I'm a marketer that comes from the YouTube world and podcasting world. So I'm like, I can sell these shows like the back of my hand, no problem. I was so niche and they needed me.
It's so perfect.
Dude, it was so perfect. And I didn't believe in myself at all. And I come in there, I end up being a fucking rock star at the job. They didn't want me to leave. Like, it was like so flattering. They made me, I couldn't put in a 2 weeks notice. They made me put in a month's notice. Like,
Yeah,
and
she kept texting us. She was like, guys, they want me to stay for another 2 weeks. And we're all like, no, just quit.
they
Like,
wanted me to stay until May.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally wanted me to stay till May. Like, we were working on this giant festival with Netflix, which like would have been announced and shit by now. Like, that's fucking happening. And like, I was a part of all of that. Like, that was my job. Like, little stupid me with no college degree, just out here in LA. And I'm like, I was fucking it up.
Yeah.
And now I work with you bitches full time. I'm like, I don't
She's like, I don't have an office, but it's okay.
I don't have a Beverly Hills. Not
Yeah,
to
me
no
that chair.
office. And
I mean,
like,
do you want to touch a little bit on why? Because it is still a corporate job. It's still a fucking headache. It's like,
yeah, it was really rough. I had to deal with a lot of angry agents, like essentially, and just to like break it down, guys, like oh my God, like I'm not trying to make this all about me, but just like, so you guys understand the scope of it, I would have to wake up at 6 or 7 a.m., check all of this shit for tours. I had agents in New York, like, Bose, why aren't these fucking, what's up with these VIP tickets? And I'd have to all hands on deck, like get on the fucking phone with Ticketmaster, figure all this stuff out. Like, I feel like Ticketmaster is always trending because the website breaks during
Yeah.
these shows. And I'm on the other end having to fix all of this. It's an absolute nightmare. I was the national tour director, which means if a show confirmed, like for example, I did Smosh's tour.
I love that for you.
So funny.
I also did Tiny Meat Gang. That was like Cody Ko's tour. So what happens is my buyer comes to me and he's like, all right, Bose, we're going on tour with 30 different cities. So I, as the national director, have to set up the ticketing, set up the marketing, and there's locals in each market that have to report to me and I have to approve their advertising. I have to approve this. So I'm literally in charge of people that I've never met all across the country, like every day. And if something goes wrong, it's my fault. So it was very, very stressful. If tickets weren't selling, like it was all over me. Like, oh my God, it was honestly a nightmare. And so like doing this podcast with us, like I am able to comfortably leave that.
Yeah.
And I also had another fantastic opportunity in producing that popped up for me. And this is something I never would have dreamed for myself. And it's like, I've literally been doubting myself every day waking up because I'm like, I'm not good enough for anything. I should just die right now and end it. But it's like when you don't think think about it and you're just coasting, things just come to you.
Yeah.
But when we
'Cause-
doubt ourselves, we stop them from happening. We believe we can't.
Because I feel like, didn't you say before when you were auditioning for Smosh or when they flew you out here, you thought you didn't get that either?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so sure that I didn't get it. Like, I'm literally there and I'm the only person that's auditioning. And I called my mom and I was like, they're not going to hire me. And she was like, why? And I was like, it's not happening. But, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but sometimes I feel like I doubt myself to protect myself from disappointment.
For sure.
For sure. Like, people have, you fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, like that it's like a confirmation that you're not good enough. So a lot of people won't even try because they'll talk themselves out of it and be like, well, I'm not qualified, I'm not good enough. Because if they actually did go out on a limb and try and then get rejected, it would validate that fear that they aren't good enough. I also think that, at least for me, I put everyone else on a pedestal where I'm like, well, everyone else walking in this door to get interviewed is probably so qualified, and they probably run 5 businesses, and they probably are like super pretty, and like they probably like know how to do a bunch of stuff, and they probably went to 50 different schools, and they have all these degrees, and like I just put them.
They went to 50 different schools.
They're like, they've won Oscars.
Like, that's a good thing. Like, Nikki, I've been to 8 schools, and I can tell you right now, it should have just stayed at about 4.
While you're just like, you're auditioning for the waitress, the quirky waitress.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, all these girls are so much better than me.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I'd be in the room. I do so well on self-tapes.
God, I want
Self-tapes,
Nikki to go on The Bachelor.
I just saw it for the first time. Like,
I started watching it too, and there's this one girl who I love. She's from Virginia Beach, and I loved when she was crying because everyone else was so pretty, and she's like drop dead gorgeous,
Yeah.
and she's like, they're all so pretty. And I'm like,
I've only seen one clip, and it's a girl who's like, I think he's a pilot, and she's like, I'm a flight attendant, and like
makes
it
me
just makes
special.
me so special. And then literally the next girl that comes is, I'm a flight attendant.
I love the editing on that. Because then they had like 3 more flight attendants.
And then it cuts to her like, well, I guess everyone's a fucking flight attendant.
and also, I would just like to chime in here for you Bachelor fans. He's not even a licensed commercial pilot.
Really?
No, he's not. He literally cannot fly Delta, American Airlines, no nothing. Like,
Well,
he's
fuck that guy then.
Yeah.
Spirit
He can only
Airlines.
fly
dude.
little planes. No, not even Spirit, girl. You gotta, in order to like be an official pilot, you have to fly like 20,000 hours, which is why most pilots are like people that were in the Navy that like had to
Air
fly.
Force.
Yeah, but he's just jerking off and
My
like
girlfriend,
doing dog fighting jets or
Dude,
something.
my favorite was this girl that was like, in her opening, she goes, I have a really dry sense of humor, but that's the only thing that's dry about me. Well, that was embarrassing. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. And then when she does her one-on-one, like 2 hours later with him, she goes, sorry about my opening. You handled it so well. And he's like, I'm sorry, I forgot what you even said. And she was like,
God.
I said that I have a dry sense of humor, but that's the only thing dry about me. And then another girl cuts her off and like, and she
my
goes to
God.
the confession booth. She's like, that's the only thing I've ever said. Oh my God. Imagine that. Like, that's the only time he gets to meet me.
Oh my God.
And then she got picked. I'm like, this is rigged.
my girlfriend was on The Bachelor, and then she got eliminated like late game, and then we would text each other whenever there's an episode, and she's like, no, trust me, this dude's fucking creepy as shit. Like, I'm really glad I wasn't there. And then like it just came out when everyone was like, yeah, he's actually kind of fucking weird, dude.
The current one right now?
No, it was one of the previous ones. One of the
okay.
recent previous ones.
My favorite
damn.
thing about this season is okay. We're gonna get.
It's like a Bachelor
No,
review.
but I have to say this.
Okay.
All the diversity Bachelor. Because this guy is so like he's just straight white guy, and they
all
have
look the
like
same.
they have like 5 or 6 black girls on, and I'm like, y'all know Pete does not want you.
He keeps picking Southern
Like,
girls and
yeah.
like Southern white girls.
He keeps taking these long dates with like women that look like Jess. Yeah,
But then the producers are like, we need you to space out when you get rid of the black girls. You can't get rid of them.
They
Can't get rid of them all.
absolutely do. Like and like they know he don't want us. They
Yeah.
know it. He's not picking
or the
dates.
Asian girls. Like, there's Asian girls on there too that I'm like, he doesn't want those Asian
He
girls.
does not want that
Yeah.
diverse. You know what we need? We need a brown bachelor. Where's the brown
bachelors at?
Yeah,
and
and
we
I
need an Obama bachelor.
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely. Can we flash that picture on the screen
wanna
of
give you a
Obama's
rose.
tight ass?
Our date was real nice, and I really want to make out with you.
So times that we doubted ourselves.
Yeah, so The Bachelor
Right.
does instill a lot of that whole like self-doubt because you're like, you are going in there into a situation thinking like, all right, maybe I got this. You talked yourself up, and then you get in a room and everybody is either just as qualified as you or maybe even better, and you're like, holy shit, maybe I don't got this.
For me, it was, it's true what Bo said. Like, when you don't try, it just kind of happens. So, when I was 17 years old, I decided to enter a beauty pageant for shits and giggles. And this was like goth Gina, right? And it was the summer. I was like, oh, fuck it, let's do it. And so, like, I ended up making it past preliminaries. I was like, oh, fuck, now I gotta tell my family. So then I went to the competition, and, like, the main competition was in Vegas. So I went, and then I remember, like, the day before the competition, all the girls were, like, freaking out, studying their questions and working out. And I was eating like a plate of bacon because there was a buffet at the hotel.
Oh my god, Gina!
And then I ended up getting second runner up, and I was like the youngest in the history of the.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I was like the youngest in the history of the royal court, and I was just like, dope.
Everyone hated you.
Everyone hated me. Nobody took me seriously. I didn't even know how to do my own makeup. And then there were times when it's like when I actually had to really do something. So a while back, I used to own a talent agency. I opened one up, and then the talent agency, I would have to like work from everything from like the business to the uniform. And what do you use in the uniform? A bra.
That's right.
Oh, here we go.
Hoist
That bra
them
fit you
titties
well?
up. Ladies with more than 80 sizes. That's more than any other brand. Third Love has your perfect size. That was good.
Yeah.
And they help you find it by using their Fit Finder quiz, where you can put in your strap size, your band size, your cup size to make your absolute perfect bra. Guys, we're wearing them every day. They should be as comfortable as possible. And don't forget, they need to make those boobies look good. They do make them boobies look good.
I love that it doesn't have a lot of padding in it or anything, but my boobies still look good. And also the strap doesn't fall down and the cups don't get this gap. I thought that you were supposed to have a gap in
That's where you hide your
the
snacks.
cups. Yeah.
Well, you know, guys, comfort and quality at the perfect fit. And that's what you're going to get with Third Love. And I always say this because this is my personal experience with it. But when I first filled out the Fit Finder quiz, I didn't really get my own size correct. And the cool thing was I submitted to send my bra back and get a new one. And it asked me just 3 really quick questions. Did this fit? Was this too loose or too big? Too loose, too big, too loose, too big. And I filled it out. I sent the bra back. Within less than 48 hours, they had sent me a brand new bra, and it is perfect. I only have one Third Love bra, and it's in black, and I'm so disappointed that I don't have a beige one too, because I want to wear it every freaking day. It's so comfortable. Whenever I see Nikki's boobs and they look all soft, I'm like, please, one squeeze, ma'am. Please.
One squeeze only, though. And they donate that bra, that gently used bra that you returned, to women in need, supporting charities in their local San Francisco Bay Area and across the United States, which I really
Yes, girls,
appreciate.
send it back until they get it right. But when they get it right, you are in for a treat. So you guys can get your perfect bra from Third Love. And right now, they are offering our listeners 15% off of your first order. So go to thirdlove.com/bigmood now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off of your first purchase. That's right. thirdlove.com/bigmood for 15% off. Also, guys, the panties are so soft. Please send me more panties.
And when you get your bra and panties on, you're going to want some clothes over those bra and panties. Absolutely. Go ahead and get yourself some Stitch Fix. I like Stitch Fix because you can go and take a quiz where you fill out your style, your body shape, the types of clothes you like, the styles that you like. I even like how they have pictures of different outfits and stuff, and you decide if you like it or not. And then from that, they determine, they pair you with the stylist, and then they kind of determine your style, and they send you a surprise box of goodies, and you get to try on those goodies for 3 days and keep what you like, send back what you don't. And if you keep everything, you get a discount on your box. The styling fee is waived. There's a $20 styling fee, and that's waived, or it's actually applied towards everything that you keep in your box. You can pick between automatic shipments or get new pieces on demand. And they deliver your favorite clothing, shoes, and accessories, including brands you know and love, as well as exclusive styles that you won't find anywhere else. Their jeans are so comfortable.
Dude, I kept my jeans.
Right?
Yeah. I kept my jeans too. They're so comfortable.
I kept my whole box.
I don't know what they did. They put something in them fibers.
It's in the
so nice. It
fibers.
made my butt look real
Fibers. I
cute.
like them.
Yeah, the
fibers.
I actually
butt
have
looks
mine
cute.
here on set right now. I wore them today.
Oh.
See, we all like those jeans. So to get started today at stitchfix.com/mood, you get an extra 25% off when you keep everything in your box. That's stitchfix.com/mood. Stitchfix.com/mood. Mood. So what happened at this talent agency?
Right. So, I auditioned for this national tour, and I ended up not getting it. And then later on, a few months later, my friend's like, hey, their competitor needs to hire girls, but they won't work unless it's with an agency. Do you want to start your own agency? And I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? And then it was a lot of doubt. This is my first time starting a business. I was like 24.
Yeah.
And then I had to learn everything on the fly, and I opened it up within 2 weeks. So I had to learn business license. I had to have a $10 million umbrella insurance thing in case anything there was just all this shit that I had to learn, and I was terrified the whole time, and it was just
That's hot,
me.
Gina.
Thanks. But it was just me, and I lived on my own. I was by myself. And then I ended up opening a talent agency, and I landed with a contract with a multi-billion-dollar huge company that was the direct competitor of the people that rejected me before.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's such a good story.
Right?
Dude.
And then so I was like, holy shit, I'm doing this. And then it was there was a lot of doubt because all the models that I hired were older than me. So you're working with a bunch of models, which means a lot of ego.
Yeah.
And they have to take orders, or not orders, but I'm younger than them, and I'm the one who's hiring them, paying them out, and taking care of everything, and flying them out and shit. So it was a lot of doubt for me. But then I realized I have to buck up because yeah, I am younger, but I can fire you. This is my business, right? And I actually had to fire a girl, and she was not happy about it. But it's just and it was just, I know a part of it was just it's because I'm younger than you, huh?
Wait, Gina, can you fire me? Practice firing me. How do you do it?
If you want to keep your job, you come into my office right now.
Oh my God!
Did you have an HR department?
Gina, why?
I
Gina
was HR department.
So
human resources. You are a human, and I'm going to use you resourcefully.
So I ended up touring for 3 years, and it was just incredible, and it was just so much fun. And then I realized, man, I really don't want to deal with models anymore, so I got rid of that. And then after that was streaming. So I got into streaming, and then I remember 5 minutes, or even right before I started streaming, it was a week before I was streaming, I was kind of fuck. I was really doubting myself because until then I've only done traditional, we can edit things out if I say something wrong, whatever, right? But this is live. If I say the wrong word, I'm getting canceled immediately, So and then
What word would that be, Gina?
There's several. There's several. We don't need to. We don't need to go down.
There's
the list.
several.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
It's
curious.
It's a word that we all love, actually. So I remember right when I was about to go live, I was like, man, I'm gonna fucking blow this. Or what if I'm not entertaining? What if I'm only entertaining just because I'm edited entertaining? Fuck. What if nobody actually really likes me? What if nobody shows up? What if nobody cares about my stream? And I'm about to hop on Twitch and I have 0 viewers. It was so nerve wracking. And then when I jumped on, hundreds of people came. They're like, oh my God, you're streaming. And then I remember, and then I was thinking, how far is this really going to go? This is just for fun. And then the first donation I got was $100. And the moment that popped up, I thought
Cha-ching.
it was, yeah. The moment that popped up, I thought it was fake. And then I looked at it, confirmed it was real. And then it was just instant bawling. And I was sobbing my eyes out. And everyone's like, whoa, what the fuck is going on?
Come on, bitch. Welcome to Twitch. This is
Yeah.
very sad. Come get a G.
Exactly. And I was just I was so nervous. I didn't think anyone would watch me, but somebody just threw $100 at me. And this is great. Thank you so much. And I'm just sobbing my eyes out. And then 2 years later, I think I streamed hungover the other day, and it was fantastic.
I feel those early signs of success are they mean the most because you're that's the time where you're in the most doubt of yourself, and you really need that boost of this. I am okay to do this. I am qualified to do this.
Yeah. Or there are times when I would sit down and have business meetings, or oh my God, there was one where I was brought to this. It was a National Geographic thing, event for video games and stuff like that, and I didn't know until 5 minutes before that I was gonna go on stage and speak.
Oh shit.
And I was just what the fuck? And this was purple pink hair Gina, right?
You had purple hair?
Yeah, I used to have purplish pink hair.
Show me a picture.
And then I was just what the fuck? I'm gonna go on stage. And then have you guys ever seen Old School?
Yeah.
So I spoke, and then I got off stage, and then people were like, oh my God, you did fantastic. I was like, what happened? I blacked out. Oh shit. I have no idea what the fuck just happened. It was just a full-on thing, and I saw a video of it. I was like, that was me? I can actually do this. Just completely blacked out. Or when I go on, when I have business meetings, and And then like I had a couple of friends come with me because I used to work with like some close friends. And then like I would speak and I would pitch, and then afterwards they're like, Gina, what the fuck was that? I was like, I have no idea. I blacked out. Like it just happens.
You get the powers of the universe that like channel
That
through
happens to me
you.
all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's like I'm doubting myself constantly. Like even sometimes when we're filming, or if I'm filming on JK News or something like that, it's like it's almost, I feel like the world stops. Seconds are ticking by. Like each second feels like an hour, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying even happening? Like I'm just in this like slow motion, like what's happening right now?
Yeah.
And then afterwards I watch it and I'm like, oh, I carried on a lucid conversation. Like,
Yeah.
what
It's
was
like a-
going-
yeah.
why was
It's-
my head like that?
It's almost like an out of body experience
Yeah.
because like when I'm in that meeting, I'm sitting there talking, but I'm also standing here like, this bitch actually sounds pretty good, Gina. Right? Like, good job.
I have such a good example of this.
Go for it.
So when I worked at the law firm that was about to fucking go under, there was this lady that had worked there, and she worked there for 25, 30 years, and she was the marketing director. And they hired me on because for the past 4 years, she was supposed to get, let's just say her name was Lucy. Lucy was supposed to get this marketing plan together for the longest time. They had an executive committee called XCOM, and they also had the BOG, which is the Board of Governors. And every year they were like, Lucy, where is this fucking thing? Well, I wanted her title. So I was trying to push her out of the company.
Oh, okay.
Because she needed to go
Wow.
anyways, and everyone wanted her gone. She was late 70s, so due to some kind of weird California law, they couldn't fire her because you needed to have a reason to fire her, because you can't just fire her because she's old. This lady had HR complaints. At one point, she told somebody in the BOG that before I came there that I was selling lingerie on YouTube. That's just what she told people. So I reported that shit to HR, and they
I
were
bought
like,
some panties from Bose.
"Did you?"
Yeah.
Oh.
Gently used.
Wait,
what?
Straight up Orange is the New Black style. My
Don't try and hide it,
Instead of
those.
prison panties, they're podcast panties.
Yeah.
Buyers now.
Oh, by the way, hey, we have our Teespring, and we're gonna be putting those on the Teespring.
Yeah, podcast panties. Jesus Christ. So anyways, I want to push this old bitch out because she was so mean to me. She was just awful to me. So we're in a meeting for the beginning of the year, and they're like, Lucy, where is the plan? And so finally I step up and I'm like, hey, if you guys give me 2 days to work from home, I'll knock this thing out real fast. So I ended up like writing this 12-page marketing plan for like 2019 for the whole company. And they were like, okay, well, we need you to present it. And so obviously I'm extra. So I do a whole like PowerPoint presentation with it
Fucking
too.
smoke machines and lights.
Oh, dude, it was crazy. It was crazy because they were all old, and I had to make this like resonate with them. I did this one slide where it showed like the top companies like Apple, Amazon, da 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 da, and then it showed like these like medium-sized companies like Nike, like blah, blah, pretty big company. But then it showed those big companies that were defunct, and I used it to draw like a contrast. And like as I started to say how like their stuff was like phasing out, I like made them like fade away, and I made them realize like, if you guys don't change your ways and your marketing strategies, you're going to fade away like these companies. And they were all like, whoa, you know. But prior to me going in there, so I was super confident in my presentation. I feel good about it. I'm feeling great. Everything, like I'm hot, young, like I know what I'm doing. This is going to be great. Well, they have me come into the BOG meeting, and these are all attorneys, and they're like 40, 50, 60-year-old attorneys. I had never, and they were doing a vote on something, and they were like using all this weird like Latin language. It was like a fucking cult, and they were trying to pass this vote on something. I have never been in a room before where every single person around me was speaking English, but I had no idea what was going on. It was the most intimidating thing ever. And so they had me in 10 minutes before my presentation, so I heard all of their stuff. And these are 60-year-old lawyers that were so smart, and like I got so scared. Like I thought I was gonna cry. I was so anxious, and like I had to do my presentation. And so the big thing pops up on the screen. It's like 2019 realignment, and it's like my presentation, and it's like just go. And so like oh my god, I thought I was gonna fucking pass out. It was so bad. And so I just kind of like winged it. And by the end of it, like literally like one old lady like stood up and clapped. And then like some other people were like still sitting, and they like just fucking clapped. And then she was like, I want her on my team. Can you come to my law firm? And everyone like shook my hand and shit afterwards. And they were like,
Damn,
yeah, they were like,
killed
this is like
it.
awesome and shit. And then they were like, okay, we want you to do that for the executive committee. Okay, we want you to do that for this committee, because they were trying to use me to excite everyone, because like the way I speak and everything too, they wanted me to like show all the other committees like, okay guys, we're not going under, like this is gonna save shit. And also let me just file a complaint here. That felt really good when I thought it was all gonna like go under. But my fucking CEO, who just kind of was like using me to bring like a youth and an energy into the company, one day before a presentation, he literally says to me while he's putting on his suit, he's like, "Are you ready for your dog and pony show?" And I was like, bitch, what the fuck you mean? And like, I kind of knew what he meant by that, but I literally Googled it just to like really get it. And it basically meant like an exciting performance with little to no value. Like it meant like all like fluff. And that really like fucking hurt me because all these people like believed in me and I started to feel more confident. But then I'm like, oh, there's some people that are not vocalizing how they really feel about everything I'm saying. And like that
I was gonna have haters.
Did it go under?
that shit fucking hurt
Did it go under?
It's still running, but just barely. Yeah. I went to visit the other day, and it was really cool that everyone was so like stoked to see me, and I felt like I didn't leave a horrible impression. But I was so scared going to that presentation. But sometimes you gotta like understand like your value and what you bring to the table, and you can't like compare yourself to everyone else in the room that's pretty. Like everyone else may be pretty, but like what else are you bringing? Like what is special about you that no one else can duplicate? And you gotta remind yourself of that if you're ever really doubting it.
Totally. That actually reminds me of before I did stand up, I worked for this insurance
Terrifying, by the way. I am so like
I love stand up.
I admire you for that
Yeah.
because
Thank you.
I would shit myself.
That's gonna be one of the worst things ever to do.
Yeah, we all better
that
get
is my
used to
nightmare.
it for when we go and do some live shows.
Live shows are fine, but stand up.
Oh, okay.
Stand-up's different.
No.
That's
I
like
don't know.
cold audience.
So it's like, yeah, I guess I get a fucking thrill and an adrenaline rush from it. I could never sing on stage or like
Which
do
is
something
crazy because women are just not funny.
true. I'm terrible. I'm totally not funny. No.
everyone knows
Bryce
this.
is like
Yeah.
cracking up.
No.
It's a fact, right?
Crazy.
They're laughing because they all want to sleep with me. So
Yeah.
no.
Exactly. They're not there for your comedy. They're there for your tits.
But before I did stand up, I was working for this insurance company, and I was the youngest person I was working for them. And there's different departments. There was individual sales where like you're cold calling leads and like you're sitting and setting up appointments and whatever, and you're selling insurance that way. I wanted to cold call companies and sell as employee benefits. And in that department, group sales, there were only like old people that were doing it, like old men going around and like that was their day, cold calling companies and like coming in and doing employee benefits. But there was this one hot ass like 30-something-year-old like star girl that came to our company and gave a speech, and she was doing like group sales in her area in like Southern California. I was in Central California, and she inspired me, and I was like, maybe I can do it. And I didn't think I could get past the cold calling because that shit sounds scary as fuck. I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm just a person.
Yo, getting hung up on builds character though.
Yeah,
I had to do that too.
It does.
Yeah.
And like I put together a script, and like my whole goal was like to just make it sound like it wasn't a script, and like to get like very charismatic and work on charisma and stuff.
You mean like those people that call me and I still hang up with them?
Yeah.
But then I feel bad about it
I
afterwards.
think all that rejection did help doing stand up and acting and auditioning later.
A guy
But-
came to my door and I had my camera doorbell, and he was like raising money for a church youth whatever to do with drugs and blah blah blah, and he's like, I used to be a meth head but I'm sober, and
you're
I'm
like, go fuck yourself.
No, a part of it's just like, I'm really happy for you, but I'm not gonna donate shit, but
Yeah.
I'm very happy for you. But yeah, go ahead.
Like, I'm proud of you, but
I'm proud of you.
bye.
But I'm
gotta get back to my bachelor
Send
show.
your kids out to do that ding dong shit to build character.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go, like everyone was like, you're way too young to do group sales, and I went and did a whole like company group sales thing and sold to like 20 people at a bank that were all like there they were buying their health insurance, they were buying their medical, everything, and I sold them all insurance. And the thing that I loved about it that set me apart, where I like realized like what made me valuable, was that I was making them laugh a bunch in my speech about the insurance. So I would like do a bullet point, make a joke about a story or whatever, and everyone would laugh. And that was the fulfilling part for me. And I was like, I don't want to do sales. I want to do
people
stand up.
laugh.
Yeah. So that's what got me into stand up. And it builds confidence, when you overcome those doubts, like, oh, I'm too young, or I'm too inexperienced, or I'm too this or that. Finding that thing that makes you unique and then pulling it off, and then realizing that like, oh shit, I can do it. It builds more confidence into the next thing that you're going to do.
I like how you said that at one point they were like, oh no, well, she's way too young to do group sales.
Yeah.
No, she's got to be at least 38. Yeah, she must be.
And then you have the whole room
They'll
rolling.
never buy from you, young girl.
Yeah. Like, how old are you? And I looked young. Like
Yeah.
when I was 19, I looked like 14.
She's just a baby. I also imagine baby Nikki as
Bobblehead.
Nikki right now.
I was wearing a pantsuit too, like like in a suit, or not a pantsuit, like an actual suit. Like it was like a suit.
You know what's funny? You know what the strangest little self-doubt thing I had that was actually really recent?
What?
So when I was younger, I was about 13 years old. I threw a birthday party and only like 4 people came.
Oh,
So for my 30th birthday party, I was sitting there with my friend. I was like, what if
yeah.
no one comes?
You thought no one was gonna come to that?
because one, okay, so I keep to myself a lot. Like
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, but I don't really like go out as much, you know?
Yeah, we need to
Same.
talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been like that, you know. Like even my best friend that literally lives 2 miles away from me, I see her like once every 2 months. or so.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
like, I feel abandoned by Gina.
Yeah, Gina
But I'll show up for
posted
your
a story
birthday.
one time with like 2 other bitches that I don't recognize.
I know.
And I
I was
messaged her. I was
excuse you.
How dare you?
You can't hang out with them when you're not even hanging out with me.
Yeah, I was like, who is this? Do they?
I'm gonna go piss on them and mark my territory.
I thought you were taking your cat to the vet, and then on your stories you were hanging out.
I was hiking.
Yeah, you're hanging
so
out.
We already know that's a lie.
So it was so funny. I was talking to my friends. I was like, what if no one shows up? They're like, are you fucking stupid? And then a lot of people showed up. So there was one point in the party I was like,
Hey, you're like, everybody showed up. Yay!
You look stunning at your party too. You're all like a freaking Golden Globe actress.
I literally have that picture of Gina and I own my fridge. Like I look at it like all the time. Like I just let Gina flex on
That is
me.
so
like I'm like, my fat ass is hungry. Oh, look at Gina.
But I do feel like when you're not thinking about it is definitely or when you don't care, when you're just like experimenting. Like with this group sales, I was just experimenting, so I was having fun with it. But when I really care about something, is like when I
crazy.
fuck it up.
Yeah, I'll just be like, never mind. I just forget about it. But like if I'm just on autopilot and like when it's like something out of necessity and like I feel like I have to keep going.
Yeah.
And I just like don't think about how much I like hate myself, and it just kind of keeps going. And I think also like I need the confidence of smelling great.
Yeah, and how
Oh
do
my
you smell
gosh.
great?
With deodorant, and that by not sweating and not letting your BO drip all over your sides, because when people hug you, then they feel it and they're like, what is that moisture? It's sticky and it smells.
experience. Voice of your
in my line of work, I go to conventions a lot.
Oh, here we go.
And I just want to say that there's a huge part missing in the convention, and it's deodorant. And sometimes I just want to walk around the convention and just have people just, hey, high five, buddy, and then just native deodorant them, right? Because native deodorant is safe and has no aluminum, parabens, or talc. Also, it's vegan and never tested on animals, except for those goddamn water buffaloes at the conventions that smell so goddamn bad. And it works really well. So making the switch to an aluminum-free deodorant does not mean you have to sacrifice on performance. Native will keep you smelling and feeling fresh. Hold on, all day long. This smells really good.
Which one is that?
Yeah, which one is that?
Oh, that is
Rose.
nice.
Is that the coconut?
Lavender.
It's a lavender and rose. It should smell
Oh.
so good.
Ooh, this
that
one's
one.
my favorite.
And that's one of 10 scents that they have, including their classics and rotating seasonals. You're guaranteed to find one that you love. Their classic scents include coconut vanilla. We smelled that. That was Pokey.
I like that
Pokey
one
had that
too.
one. Yeah. Lavender rose, which is this one here, cucumber mint, and eucalyptus and mint. It's no risk to try, so it's free shipping on every order and offers a 30-day free returns exchanges in the USA. Now, I use this because I like smelling like lavender, but the problem with the thing with lavender is that lavender puts you to sleep.
Yeah.
So I put it on
You're
and I go
always
back to bed.
so tired already.
Always.
I think you need to get
You need
an
like a
energizing
grapefruit
scent.
one. Yeah, like a lemon and grapefruit and citrus one.
Orange zest.
Yeah.
Coffee one.
Like, what, Gina, why do you smell like a kitchen?
Coffee. That's a great idea, Native. Get on that.
A coffee
flavored.
scent.
Isn't that going to jumpstart my glands and my
So, for 20% off your purchase, visit nativedeodorant.com and use the promo code BIGMOOD during checkout. Again, for 20% off for your stinky ass pits, go to nativedeodorant.com and use promo code BIGMOOD.
Navid deodorant?
And you know what? You know when you should use deodorant especially?
When?
When you work out.
Oh, I'm a stanky bitch when I work out.
We stanky bitches.
But I got such a heavy schedule that sometimes I can't fit in a workout. What do I do about it?
You could try Open Fit.
Oh, you got a solution?
Do you know what Open Fit is?
The only fit I get is when I open my legs.
Okay.
What? Okay. You better have some native on the
like, cut
thighs.
Okay, Open Fit can help you take all of the complexity out of losing weight and getting fit, and we're not talking about sex, because that's not very complex. It's a brand new, super simple streaming service that allows you to work out from the comfort of your living room, and we know people like Gina will not leave their house, so maybe this is how you can get in shape, Gina. They have amazing trainers and classes led by some of the most effective and engaging trainers in the world. You can also join live real-time workouts with certified personal trainers.
That's dope.
I actually saw at my home gym at my apartment complex, I saw people using they brought their tablet into the like little yoga studio that we have, and they were doing this, and I saw it and I was like, oh, I know Open Fit. That's cool. Like I watched them do the workout. It was a guy and a girl together, and they were doing Open Fit together. It was really cute.
I like that they have a variety of workouts too.
Yeah.
Like one day I'm feeling bar, and then the next day I'm feeling yoga or kickboxing or whatever.
I like that there's a person that will be disappointed in me if I don't do it. I need to be kept on the path. Otherwise I'll be like, that's enough. And then when they just keep counting, 8, 9, I'm like, oh, I gotta keep going.
Yeah, you have to like follow the program. You kind of feel like, because if you're by yourself, sometimes you're like 8. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one kind of keeps you going a little bit, so that's helpful. OpenFit has changed the way I work out, and with our code MOOD, you can join me on a fitness journey personalized just for you. So right now, our listeners get a 14-day free trial membership to OpenFit when you text MOOD to 505050. That's 505050. Try it for free or your money back, baby. It's entirely risk-free, so what do you have to lose besides the weight?
May I
try that trial.
May I suggest, you know how like they have like videos of people teaching you?
Yeah.
If they had one of Michael B. Jordan telling me to fucking breathe real hard and work out.
I wish they could do deep fake exercise videos.
Oh my God.
You get to choose your trainer.
You're about to see me with a fucking 18-pack. Like, you know what happened? Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan.
Anyways, well, we do not have Michael B. Jordan, but anyways, you can get full access to OpenFit, all the workouts and nutrition guides, totally free for 14 days. Again, just text MOOD to 505050. Disclaimer, standard message and data rates may apply.
But tight. You got to tie on.
Yeah,
Michael B.
tighten
Jordan's
up
doing
that
right now.
butt.
But yeah, what we were saying about like when you have to power through something, like when you like have to, is like usually when you get it done and you're like, oh shit, what else can I do?
Do you guys doubt yourself in your relationships?
No.
No, I'm awesome.
I think I
Sometimes
do.
I do, actually. Yeah, I do.
I think too, even like dating, because I've been dating a little bit, and I what I'm doubting is almost like, am I choosing the right guy, or like am I doing the right thing on these dates? Am I being myself? Like, I don't know, for some reason I feel like I'm doubting myself a lot more now that I'm dating again. So I feel that a lot, and I don't know what it's coming from. I don't know if it's like a fear of rejection, a fear of like getting caught in a new guy that's not good for me.
Yeah.
There's just been a lot more self-doubt coming into my life, and maybe it means I need to take a break and not date just yet if I'm that doubtful of myself.
Well, I'll just go ahead and diagnose Jess right here. Jess feels like she's not worthy of love, so in order to protect herself, she says, I'm not worthy. No, I could never be worthy. And then she just kind of has a self-fulfilling prophecy. And if that's happening to you, then let us know in the comments.
Thanks.
Support group.
It's weird because like I have the love of my dad, but I guess because I didn't have the love of my mom, I still like feel that.
Your self-love is
Yeah.
like...
It's the number one thing that you're thinking of too, like if that's the biggest gaping hole in your life.
Yeah, that's really the only hole in my... Okay, Gina.
Sorry.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is that the one thing that is more important than your father's love or your mother's love is your love of yourself.
Your self-love.
Yeah.
How would you guys rate your self-love, like on a scale of like 1 to 100%?
Dude, okay, so I was asked recently.
Gina's 101.
She's ready
I
to
was asked
go.
recently. My friend was like, so when you were like a little bit chubbier, because I lost like 15 pounds. He's like, when you were chubbier, were you like insecure? Or did you feel whatever? And I was like, not really. I don't think you understand how much I love myself. He's like,
That's dope.
okay. I'm like, yeah, it's actually really unhealthy sometimes. But no, I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I do love myself because like, even though my body didn't look exactly the way I wanted it to look, like it's pretty good. It's keeping me alive.
Yeah.
You know, I got soft skin.
Yeah,
You know?
the purpose of your body
collagen.
is more
Yeah.
than just looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Health.
Yeah.
Overall, how is your heart functioning? Is
Yeah,
your lungs
exactly.
breathing?
So, I mean, we're doing good over here.
What about your internal organs?
Yeah,
Like,
right?
I think, self-love is like it's a spectrum for me. It also depends on what area it is, because like I think it is the thing that you're least thinking about that you're most secure about, because like in relationships, I always felt like I bring this to the table and I knew my value there. And like, so I would not, want to settle with somebody that didn't recognize that. But in my career, I've always been like in like more like self-hating because I go to auditions and then I don't book it. And then you go to auditions and you don't book it. And then after a while of not booking, you're like, it's personal now. It's not just like, I'm a number that they, didn't want anymore, that I could always convince myself to a point. But like after a while, I'm like, it's me. I'm just not good enough. Like I'm just not, I hate myself. Like, why can't I be good enough? I study and I study and I study and I just don't ever like get there. And then I get very self-hating. So I guess, it's those areas. And then also just what day it is. It's like some days I'm just
There are days, yeah.
By the way, I just want to say I love your mic holder that you have. This titty mic holder.
Titty
we
mic
have.
holder. It's a fucking.
She was talking about self-doubting, and I was just looking at Gina like,
It's a $5,000 titty holder.
I love myself.
mic
Gina's
holder.
like, I love myself.
I love me.
Dude, I love this. What is the quality like?
Fuck lobs.
What is
no one
great?
has to, I don't have
Bryce,
titties,
you like that?
dang it.
Just tuck
I'm
it
gonna
in there.
slide
Don't
off
worry,
the side.
Jess. We do.
I'm gonna tuck it in.
Tuck it
I'm
in.
like the only one with no titties. Can you guys still hear me?
I believed my titties to be there.
But we believed in them, and here they are.
I doubt my titties can hold up this mic. I'm sorry. I don't
Just on
like
a scale of
self-doubt.
1 to 10, or a scale of 1 to 100, what is your self-love at?
I don't really ever think about it that
put
much.
it-
I feel like
put
we're
it on
gonna
the
need to
scale.
do a whole other episode on self-love.
Right.
So maybe we can focus on that in a whole, because I feel like that's gonna be a rabbit asshole.
Rabbit asshole.
A rabbit asshole. But I don't know. It's weird because I feel like I love myself generally with like day to day. I don't think about it too much. But then once I start to think about letting someone else love me, that's when I go, oh wait, like that's when the doubt kicks in.
You're
and
like,
the
oh, God,
self-love.
gross.
I'm like, oh wait, like can you really love me, or am I lovable? But then like when I'm not thinking about a man or something else, or friends that maybe don't love me as much as I love them, if I'm just going about my day, I feel like I love myself. I feel happy enough. It's just like when someone else comes into the picture, it's like the doubt comes in. I'm like, oh wait, do they love me?
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, and this relates to self-doubt as well. I feel like I had like early successes, and I loved myself the most when I was a child, because like I hadn't really gotten rejected yet, like where like I felt like, I was really good in school. Like I learned to read when I was 3. And so, I was always like ahead of my class, like in school, and people would, like teachers would praise me for that. And it was always like very healthy. And I started modeling when I was a kid, and doing like acting work then. And I booked every single audition that I went on. And so I was like, tight, I'm dope. And then like middle school came crashing down on my head, where I was the same level of smart as everybody else because we were in GATE classes. And then I realized I was way behind socially. Like people did not want to be my friend because I was not into like middle school stuff. I was still into like cartoons and shit. And my manager died. My like talent manager. And so the new one that I got when I went on auditions, I wasn't booking them anymore. I tried out for a musical, and I was one of 2 people that didn't make it past the singing part. And so I just started like really hating myself like middle school on, where I was like, I used to be so good or like myself, and like now I suck, and like no one likes me. And that's when I went down that internet hole of like my only friends were like on the internet and stuff. Yes. So that's the only place I found validation.
It's comfortable. This just came out for me when the other day Jess had asked me for some like old pictures for something. And I thought about how like in high school, I was like, I'm so ugly. Don't look at me. I'm such a piece of shit. I'm so unfortunate looking. How can anyone even look at me? And then I was looking at some old pictures of me, and I was like, wait, I was kind of hot.
Yeah.
Like it literally took me to be now 28, like to look back on myself and be like, why was I so upset with myself? Because like your boy was looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
I used to hate it because people would say I look like Julia Stiles back then, because if you look at
She was
Julia
so
Stiles,
pretty.
she has kind of a round face, and then also her eyebrows were kind of like not really that existent. And I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I did look like Julia Stiles, and I hated that. So I feel like I still didn't like the way I looked in high school, but I don't know. It's weird because it's like you think, especially too with weight, you're like when you're 21 and you're like a good little 120 pounds or something like that. And then you get to your 30s and you're like 135 and you're like, I used to think I was fat. No, now
I know,
I'm
right?
carrying the weight.
Ungrateful bitch.
Sometimes that self-doubt too can like cast a reality on us that just isn't fucking real.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, I was like, oh my god, I'm always around these white boys. They don't like me because I'm black. No, it's because I'm black. This is terrible. And then when I look back on it, like your boy was light skinned, the hair was looking on point. I always had a full face of makeup on. I looked good. And like I think it's that sometimes white guys were afraid to approach me because they thought like racially we were divided or something. And like in retrospect, I'm like, I know those little white boys wanted to taste the chocolate. Like I
They
fucking
do.
know.
I mean, I
they
feel that
do.
way about the guys too. I'm like, well, I need to just stay away. They probably don't want to talk to me. Like, let me
Yeah.
get my white ass out of their way. You know,
do.
like I don't. But then maybe they would, but I just don't. I'm scared.
They absolutely wanted a little taste, a little
Yeah.
testosterone.
they wanted to see them strawberry nipples.
Yeah, they did. They want to leave the chocolate strawberry nip policy ass bitch.
Language is happening.
Voice. I understood it, but what was that voice?
I kind of want to taste
so
now, but
Neapolitan? You're
Neapolitan be the last layer of my nip policy.
I need a vanilla up over here.
I need a chocolate vanilla over here.
Sit on both these layers.
Come on now, yo, yeah.
I know what you want. I know what you need. Okay. No.
oh my god.
But yeah, like I really deadass think that like I'm black, nobody wants me. And then in retrospect, I was like, dude, I should have been out there. Like, you ever seen a black girl with pink nipples
Yeah, I
before?
know.
I should have been right out there.
Yeah.
And like, God, imagine if we didn't hold ourselves back so
Yeah.
often, like put ourselves out there, like. That
It's true. Like if we fail at something, we like have to find a reason for it. We're like, oh, it's because of this, and then we cling to that.
yeah, and we decide this is the reason, and then later on you find out like that's not the reason at all. Like that's so fucking funny. We decide this is the reason. We figured it out, and this is what it is.
We are the stories we tell ourselves. So make sure you tell yourself a good one out there. Also, make sure you're checking out the merch, subscribing, rating our show 5 stars. It really helps us a lot, and we love you all out there. And we hope that you enjoy being part of our little girl group conversations.
I don't doubt your love.
We don't doubt your love. Now
We don't
come
doubt
on,
your
come
love.
on, get a
Love
sit
at all.
over here, get a lick me over there.
Talking about some sit on my lap.
Talking about some Neapolitan.
It's devolved into a puddle now.
We had an inside joke.
Talking about some Neapolitan. Talking about some get a lick. Subscribe.